First, though, several state lawmakers announcing the filing of a new bill that aims to make certain anti-Semitic acts a hate crime. It comes after they say they've seen an increase of recent hate crimes over the last several weeks. Thank you for joining us. I'm Julie Broughton, in for Bridget Ellison.
And I'm Justin Mormith. We first showed you video of this anti-Semitic message that was seen scrolling across the top of a building along Orange Avenue in downtown Orlando on New Year's Eve. The messages also appeared on at least 2 more buildings nearby. Leaders and law enforcement have condemned it, but many are still asking what can be done to stop it. News 6's Ezzy Castro spoke to a local representative about what could change if a new bill passes.
We spoke to State Representative Randy Fine, who stands behind this bill for many reasons. He says that Jewish people should not be targeted and that anti-Semitism has no place in Florida.
Wearing one of these should not put a target on your back.
Representative Randy Fine, along with other state lawmakers, announcing the filing of HB 269. It's a new bill that would make certain anti-Semitic acts hate crimes and increase punishment for those hate crimes to the level of a felony.
Any person distributing flyers involving materials that have religious or ethnic animus are mass distributed will be committing a third-degree felony from now on. Any person stalking, harassing, or interfering with someone based on their religious or ethnic heritage will now be committing a third-degree felony.
Earlier this month, flyers aimed at the Jewish community were reported in an Orange County neighborhood. On New Year's Eve, anti-Semitic words were projected on an office building in downtown Orlando. According to the Anti-Defamation League, anti-Semitic incidents in Florida have increased by 50% between 2020 and 2021.
I'm the only Jewish Republican in the Florida legislature, so I take a personal interest in these bills.
Fine explained he's seen anti-Semitic messages in his own neighborhood in Melbourne, so he's hoping the bill will pass.
The next step will be the bill will be referenced to multiple committees and it will move through the process to get to the House floor. A companion bill will be filed in the Senate and the same thing will happen over there. I'm fairly optimistic for the prospects of this bill.
Ezzy Castro, getting results, News 6.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That is to say, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. One step closer to the famine of the word. One step closer to the famine of the word. And as you can see from the clip I just played in the beginning of this video, they are trying to pass a bill, HB 269, I believe they said. It is basically a bill against, anti-Semitism. So they trying to crack down on that, and eventually they just getting ready to pull the plug and try to get this word removed from as many avenues as possible, whether it's online, in person, or wherever it may be, and they're using anything and everything to push this agenda forward, whether it's, as you can see from the clip I played, billboard going across the top of a building, or having some type of, how should I say it without, causing too much controversy. Whether it's a billboard being plastered across the top of a building, or a particular group that, let's say, they set up to push a certain agenda, whatever it may be, it's coming indirectly, directly towards the word. So they just can't go straight out and say, this is what we're trying to do. They got to make it, acceptable for the public. So once they start rolling, they'll have an excuse on why they doing what they doing. Because as you can see, they trying to play the role of the the innocent. Woe is me. Everybody hates me. So we need protection, you know. That's how they trying to sell it to the mass, to the public, so they can be justified in what they doing. But make no mistake about it, it's aimed directly at the word because it's exposing them for who they are. You know, and they trying to use a little bit of power that they got left before they completely be removed of it to bring as much, wrath, bring as much pain, bring as much as whatever they can to the saints, man. They trying to wear out the saints. You know, they trying to get this bill passed here, you know, in the state of Florida. And don't think that they won't get it passed, you know, nationwide. Because they eventually want to get the word off the street completely, you know. And they willing to lock up people under this new house bill, you know. They looking at it as a felony 3 just for talking about somebody. You know? When have you ever seen something like that? Like you get locked up for felony 3 for what they deem, hate, you know, you know, you can't pass out. What they trying to really do is they so slick about it. What they trying to do, like I said, is indirectly, but still directly targeted who they have. They attended target. You know, so they got no more passing out pamphlets. You know, and we know who passed out pamphlets, and along with that, they probably don't want you putting no more signs up either. You know, exposing them for who they are. You know, they getting exposed, man, and they can't do nothing with it. But ultimately, this is all being orchestrated by Yahweh through His only begotten Son, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, because this is part of prophecy that He's getting ready to remove this word from off the street, and then whoever don't receive it is just gonna be out there left to defend for themselves. So this is ultimately being moved by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know, he's moving them to this, to pass this bill, so you can get taken up off the street. This word gonna be removed up off the street. You know, and for some of the brothers that's out there and may get caught up in this and don't know because, you know, Esau ain't gonna publicize this on national TV. You know, he ain't gonna tell you exactly what he moving and how he moving. That's why it says in Obadiah, let's go there. You know, you got to be under the hedge of the Most High so you can receive this, man. Because if you don't know and you get caught up out there, you know, Esau, he ain't gonna look to, have any type of pity for you. He gonna put the cuffs on you and haul you off, man. Well, we got something for that too. So this is Obadiah 1 and verse 6. And it reads, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? You know, you have to read, you have to keep up on these things, because you think he gonna tell you his own playbook? No, that wouldn't benefit him. He want to catch you off guard, pass bills up under your nose while you was sleeping. So when you go out there and do your thing, you are subject to whatever punishment he got on books for you, man. That's how he rolls. That's how he operates. You know, that's what he do. You know, these things are past, but they're not made a big, they're not made a big deal of until it's actually a big deal. Going into Matthew, 5th chapter, verse 10, and it reads, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And we know if he do pass this, some of us gonna be caught up in it because, let's just be honest. some of us may not even know that it's a bill being passed or in the process of being passed that if you, speak or anti-Semitism, or if you have any type of literature, you can be deemed a level 3 felony, which in turn requires you to spend time in jail, man. This is how he coming. He's coming sideways. He's not coming straight forward because he's a coward, man. So he got to come from different angles, you know. And unless you know what time you in, you can easily be hit from either way he comes, from either direction, you know. So this is where we at, man. Where you got to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, man, because he looking to roll, man. He's looking to roll full body, man. Hard body. Because he's continuously being exposed, man. This man can't rest without somebody exposing him. This truth is putting him out. And he's like, man, we got to use our last little bit of power we have to bring down as much as we got. That's why I'm going to close out in that First Peter, because this is exactly what he's doing. So back to Amos 8 and 11, because it says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, saith the Lord Almighty, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. You know, he's using this man to fulfill this prophecy, man. He's getting ready to remove the word from off the street. And then whoever didn't get it, while they had the opportunity to get it, is just going to be left to defend for themselves, you know. And you really don't have nobody to blame but yourself, because this word right now is readily available. But if you turn your nose up at it because you deemed it too harsh for you to embellish, or the way it was delivered was not to your liking, you know, that's going to be up to you, because the truth was there for you to do your research and to look into it, and not just to brush it off as just some other type of, trend or fad, here today, gone tomorrow, you know. So we coming in those times, man, where, if you can't get it while you can, once it's gone, you pretty much gonna be, left in the dark all alone. And that's not a place or, ideal situation you want to be in. So, man, I just had to bring that out, because who would have known? He's passing bills behind. I mean, that's not far-fetched to believe he would do something like that, but still, man, this is just as recent as a couple of months ago, the beginning of this year. He's already in the works of trying to get bills bills passed on the books. So when he rolls, he's justified. When he locks you up, he could get you off the street, man. Until eventually everybody gonna be like, man, we can't. That's it. The word's gone. It can't be no more in public, plain view. Or else you getting to level 3, felony level 3. And who knows how much time you're gonna spend for that. But like I read earlier in Matthew, the 5th chapter, the 10th verse, blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. For those is the kingdom of the heaven, man. So, eventually he gonna take this word off the street, and who knows, he might even persecute, those who don't want to abide to the law. And like I did a video, how Trump is trying to bring, if reelected, bring back the guillotine. He may be off with your head type of stuff, man. Who knows what we get ready to go into, but we know you need that hedge, that protection around you, man. So it's best that you get this word, receive it, take it, just meditate on it, man. Repent while you still got a chance, and pray that the Most High Yahweh through His only begotten Son, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, gives you mercy, man. Because we get ready to come into some perilous times where you're going to need as much as you can, as much help as you can. You're going to need help from on high. And if you don't have that hedge, man, hey, it ain't going to be nice. You're going to be subject to anything out there. So this is just a update on the famine of the word. They looking to pass that HB, House Bill 269, on anti-Semitism. And we know who they actually trying to come indirectly at. But directly, they talking to the servants of the Most High. Because we the only ones that's posing them a threat by exposing them. All these other organizations, they're not exposing them for who they are. They genuinely believe that they're a different type of person, but they the same people, just lower levels, but they all the same. All of them are Edomites, no matter how you cut it, And by exposing them, they just using lower level Edomites to have a reason to justify to pass a bill to come after us, Israelites. You so-called Native Americans, Hispanics, and blacks, man. And those who are scattered abroad, who look like the other nations, but through the lineage of their father of the, 12 tribes of Israel. And this is who they looking to come at, but they just using other ethnicities to come, so they don't have to come directly. So this ain't nothing new under the sun, man. They ain't never been that type to come directly at you. You read about that. They came and smoked us from the back, and they try to take the elderly and the weak out. That's just how they do, man. They don't never come straight forward. So this is, like I said, this is an update on the famine of the word. So we're going to go ahead and close out on 1 Peter, and we're going to take it from there. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. And it reads, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." And if you ain't up, like I said, if you ain't up on things, you don't know what's going on, and they pass this bill right up under your nose, and you get caught up out there, I mean, that's a hard way to find out about it, man. Who knows if that officer who's enforcing that law is going to cut you a break because you ain't never heard about that. Or who knows if he going to persecute you to the fullest and take you down on a level 3 felony, in front of the judge. So you got to be in this truth, man. You got to read these scriptures so you know what you're going up against. It tells you in the book of Matthew to be quick to, agree with the adversary so you don't have to go in front of the judge, man. So if you out there trying to come back what the officer say, and he might just take you in just because. Now you could have avoided that, but now you got to go down in front of the judge, and he might, persecute you to the fullest. Who knows? He may be one of those 1948ers. So you got to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, So once things start to transpire, you'll know how to move more, more correctly. So one more time, and then we're going to close out. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, and it reads, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." And if he could pass a bill to catch you off guard, by all means necessary, he will, and probably going to pass his bill. And who knows how many more states? Who knows how many more states are going to adopt this until it becomes a complete bill nationwide? You know. So with that being said, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom.